A very good evening to all of you hockey fans out there. Thank you for tuning in. It's Game 4 of the Crosstown Cup. It could be a chess match and people would come out to watch UCLA versus USC, but it's ice hockey tonight. These teams are finishing up their lineups. We had a momentary issue with the scoreboard, but we're all good. We'll get the starting lineups to you in a moment. Mark DeVore alongside, I'm Brian Melblom, color commentator. Mark DeVore with me as always this season. Great to have you with us.
Well, thanks a lot, Brian. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Bruins, Trojans, a sheet of ice. Crosstown Cup can come home to Westwood for the first time in 3 years with a Bruin victory tonight. It's also senior night. We've got a big crowd. Has come from Westwood. They were in the parking lot tailgating when I got here a couple hours ago. I'm excited.
This is a blast. We're not sure how much you'll be able to hear of our PA announcer, Scott Corburn, but the always moving Senior Day ceremony up right now. As you can tell, a little difficult to make out the words. We'll work on getting a wireless feed across the rink onto future broadcasts, maybe with your help. In any case, USC starting John Mandillo at center, left wing and right wing, respectively. It would be Aaron Browno and Andrew Phillips. On the D-line, Jacob Rudsick and Nicholas Friedland, and Cameron Todd getting the start between the pipes. For UCLA, Cameron Kwong, the only non-graduating senior in the lineup. He'll be up front, starting center. Griffin McCarty and Evan Rittenhouse, left and right wing. PJ Smigliani and Ben Baker on defense, and Matt Bowden in goal. Pause just for a moment for the national anthem playing. We'll be right back. quick rundown of the majors, the courses of study of all of our graduating seniors. Griffin McCarty, a communications major with a history minor. Ben Baker, majoring in philosophy with a minor in history. Evan Rittenhouse, a double major of economics and English. PJ Smigliani, a physics major. And Matthew Bowden, studying business economics with a minor in Spanish. The other starter, Cameron Kwong, maybe a minor for cross-checking. I don't know, we'll see. But well, we're ready to drop the puck. Speaking of Cameron Kwong, as he skates in to take the draw. And the Crosstown Cup is back in Burbank. Will it stay here tonight? We will find out. UCLA controlling the puck in their own end, dumping it out. Collected at center ice and thrown back in. It'll be offside if USC touches, so they've got to go back and tag up. Smigliani up to the left wing boards, gets a little bit ahead of Rittenhouse, but he follows it into the corner. Kwong with a slap shot. Stick save made by Pod. USC bring it back, clearing the red line and then dumping it in. Brownell will skate to his bench. Already a quick line change, just up and back. UCLA with a noticeably deeper bench, or more full bench than USC, whose roster has just been ravaged by injuries as the season has progressed. We'll see how that plays out as this game, we get deeper into this one.
Bruins changing.
They could probably get a lot more changes with more subs to work with. Just keep fresh legs out. We'll see how USC adjusts their playing style to counter that. Fanning on a shot was Roger Zhang right at the blue line. Bruins unable to hold it in. They chip it back up. Everybody's tagged up, but USC now in control. Playing it up their left wing boards and tangling up right in front of the glass. Eventually Roger Zhang emerges with it. Sent way up ice toward Justin Kaufman. Now at the blue line, flipped ahead by Will Laycock. Muscled away from it was Nate Marshall, USC. Puck apparently went up into the Trojans bench and out of play as a couple players were tumbling right in front of it.
No shots on goal in the first 2 minutes, Brian. A lot of action in the middle of the ice, but no shots on goal.
Nothing just yet. We'll see if someone's able to put one in there.
Last game out, the Bruins had 50 shots against UC Irvine.
That's
no tonight.
No shortage of offense in that 12-5 victory. Excuse me. Shot goes behind the boards. The rebound collected by Justin Kaufman, but he couldn't bury it. Out behind the boards and flipped up along the left wing. Here comes Andrew Phillips. He coughs it up. There goes Zhang the other way. Ahead to Tam, going around the net. Keeping his body toward the glass. Sends it over into the middle, looking for Shin Beecher. Spinning around and lost sight of it. USC clear. Smigliani collects it as the Trojans get a line change. Tam centering it to McCarty. Shot, scores! Just about 2.5 minutes played. McCarty lights the lamp for UCLA. 1-0.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. The play was set up by Smigliani in the neutral zone. Broke it out. Nice pass, and then the Bruins put it in.
17:22 left in this first period. Good start for the Bruins. Let's see if they can keep the momentum, or will USC have a quick answer? As I say that, Smigliani just leveling a Trojan player to the ice. Beg your pardon, I missed his number. As the shot is deflected up and into the netting. Out of play. Well, certainly McCarty from Smigliani. We'll see if there's a second assist on there. Face off won by the Trojans in their own end. Unable to clear it out. Well, now they do, as Richard Zoe's shot was blocked by Jack Abramovich from the Trojans. I beg your pardon.
Geez, Nicholas Friedland of the Trojans, I don't know what he was looking at. The puck went right by him. He couldn't keep it in the zone.
Smigliani tried to feed a Bruin up ahead of him. Now he gets it to Rittenhouse on the left wing. Center to McCarty. Couldn't take the shot as the pass was broken up by Jacob Rudzik for USC. Flung in from the point. Richard Zoe's shot or pass, whatever that was, going in slow motion, finds its way over to the corner. Now USC bring it back. On the left center, backhand shot. Missed the net by Andrew Phillips. Back around the other side. Shot gets blocked in traffic. Slap shot from the point. I think Bowden might have gotten his leg pad on it, but now we're going to have a penalty.
Sorry about that, Brian.
No worries. We're on the same page, certainly. Let's see what the infraction is. Referee Watts. It's going to go against USC. Looking for the hand signal. Didn't see one. Perhaps too many men or something there. I didn't see any contact that would have drawn a penalty. Did you notice something I didn't?
I saw a hit to my left in the Bruin defensive zone, but that wasn't what they called.
No, Jonathan Chandler sitting for USC as a shot gets covered up by Pod. No goal. It got tipped in after the whistle. And now some extracurricular activity as Will Laycock comes flying in there, tangling up with the Trojan. Let's see who exactly that is.
That was a quick whistle by the referee. The shot went through the goalie. There was like a 1 second delay, a half a second delay. It was behind him, but the whistle blew.
Now Andrew Phillips, the USC captain, skating to the USC penalty box. Will there be matching minors? Evidently not. A two-man advantage coming up for UCLA. Just 7 seconds ticked off of that first penalty for which Jonathan Chandler is sitting. So a huge opportunity for the boys in blue. McCarty right up front again. Shot, no goal. Must have hit the crossbars. The referee signaled no goal. Another shot saved by Pod. USC able to clear. I was holding my chatter as I was listening for Scott Corburn's announcement about the penalties. In any case, 15:40 to go. And the Bruins, beg your pardon, the Bruins just scored again. Help me out there. I was trying to tend to some game operations stuff. What did you see there, Mark?
I think that might have been McCarty again. A great thing, a power play goal. And what's going to happen is USC will get the original penalty back. So it'll be 5-on, but the Bruins will have the 5-on-4 for the next minute 25. Great opportunity for the Bruins. Wanted to put at least one in during the 5-on-3. Now we have an opportunity to get a second one, go up 3-0. 5 minutes of the game.
Not quite 4.5 minutes played, and yes, you're correct. The first penalty is released. The first minor penalty, I should specify. So it'll be 1:16 of power play time for the Bruins. 5-on-4 now. They got the 5-on-3 goal. It is 2-0. Excellent start. A little gift from the getting their power play unit some extra time on the ice.
Well, I think that puck hit the glass behind the net and popped in behind Pod, who was facing that way and was able to fall on it. But definitely a lively glass here at Pickwick Gardens.
How does that compare to your goalie playing days over here?
I think the difference in those days was just they weren't as lively. I mean, they you might have an odd stanchion,
right?
But you didn't get the liveliness against the plexiglass.
Right. They had the metal stanchions between the glass. Now they've got the really thin gaps in the little mounts right up where it connects the net.
Nice passing on the Bruin power play.
Definitely good puck movement, keeping it in the USC zone. Shot broken up in the middle there, and now sprinting the other way after making that block. Samuel Fraser giving chase as USC dump it around the corner. Smigliani collects it, sends it up ahead to Kaufman. Kaufman on his backhand shoots. Glove save, Pod. Rebound right up in front. Backhanded shot could not go in by Andrew Chang. 9 seconds remain on the penalty.
Brian, I just want to welcome all hockey fans across North America and the Southland. We're on YouTube Live. The live comments are on, aren't they?
Indeed.
So, give us a comment. Give us a shout, and we'll shout out back to you, and tell us where you're listening from or watching from.
Bruins control the face-off. 2 seconds to go on the penalty. We're back to even strength right now with 14-12 left in this first period. Bruins still up 2-0. Controlling this game. McCarty from his favorite spot takes a shot. Looks like he whiffed a little bit or got a weird bouncing puck. Easy save made by Pod. We'll get the official shots on goal tally after this period. They seem to have...
Well, the ice has definitely been tilted in the Bruins' favor the last few minutes, but, they had the power play, the 2 power plays, so.
USC's got to stay out of the box, and they've got such a short bench. We'll see how this goes. Tangling up along the boards. UCLA, come away with it. Baker wristing it in. Collected by Beecher in the corner. Back toward the point. Beecher drops it back to Baker. Up ahead. Tam couldn't control it.
Man, Tam was looking the wrong direction. Baker, who's playing the right point, tried to pass it to Tam at about the face-off dot on the same side, and Tam was facing the wrong direction, and it just slid right by him.
We have face-off to our right. USC draw it behind their own goal. Play it up the right wing. Muscled around. This will be icing if I'm not mistaken. Yes, indeed. We'll bring it right back where we started.
Well, speaking of starts, great start for the blue and gold tonight. Big crowd, as I mentioned prior. Maybe we can get a little, camera work on that sometime soon. But big crowd, and you wanted to get out of the box early to keep the crowd alive.
Fans mostly congregating behind the Bruins net at this, or the north, I believe that's north, goal cage. So that may come into play in the second period when UCLA are defending that end. Speaking of this end, Ashwin Dina grabs it right in front of his own bench. Got away with a slash there on Aaron Brownell. Keep an eye on them as Dina goes back to the bench. Ted Johnson losing it at center ice. Here comes Jack Abramovich. Now it gets broken up. Kwong feeds it ahead to McCarty. Flanked by Kwong. Pass through the slot ahead of all the Bruins, and USC control it. Now up the right wing boards for USC, Philip Tamfeld. Shot and a save.
Oh, they may go. They may go. Number 16 for the Trojans. Jacob Aban, and looking for a number of the Bruins. That's McCarty.
Busby and McCarty. Keep an eye on them.
Brian, you were talking about the fans. A lot of them congregating behind the Bruin net. That's actually the opposite of what happens in many college hockey rinks. The idea being the student section is behind the opposite goalie to create, to yell at him, call him a sieve, and just create, waves of emotion when the when the home team's attacking.
Let's see how that comes into play. McCarty again with it. Wrist shot and a chest save by Pod. Rebound comes in front. Chang looking to bury it, went up high. Maybe Pod getting his stick on it to deflect it over the glass behind him. 12:15 left in this opening period. Bruins up 2-0, and thank you to Duffer Pauly, Bruin player 1978-82, watching from Las Vegas. Says go Bruins and Vegas Golden Knights. Thank you for tuning in. You hear about him in your playing days?
I did not, but if he played to 82, I got to Westwood in 85.
There you go.
So some of the seniors on our team played with him their freshman year.
Just missed.
But always good to hear of Bruin hockey alums.
Absolutely. Please spread the word. It's YouTube, so I'm pretty much required to say like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. McCarty with it on the left wing, the graduating senior. Shot was blocked. He grabbed that rebound, and then his pass got broken up by Jack Abramovich. Now bringing it back the other way. Smigliani, triple coverage. Flings it toward the net. It gets broken up and dumped out. No icing as it's corralled by Richard Zoe. Both teams getting the line change. Fans having some fun here, running along the glass. Shot was saved by Kaufman. Still with it though. Kaufman tries to reset, flings it across to Ben Baker. The pass went over toward his skate, unable to keep it close enough in front of him. USC gaining control briefly, but now here's Kaufman again. Kaufman into the middle to Marshall. Broken up, and here comes Jonathan Chandler. Up ahead to Phillips for USC. 2-on-2, 3-on-2 actually developing the other way. Drop pass from Kaufman back to Laycock, USC now on their right wing. Andrew Phillips into the corner, tangling up with Tyler Sheppy.
We haven't called Laycock's name much this year. Good to see him getting some action.
Back on the ice. Bruins able to chip it over the blue line. USC will have to touch up, but they'll do the old dump and change as we have just about reached the halfway point of this opening period. 10:05 on the clock. Still 2-0 Bruins. How's this first 10 minutes looked for you besides the scoreboard, the obvious mark?
Well, I think once we had the first 2 minutes played really in the center zone, starting with the power play call, the Bruins have dominated the game. Yeah, they like these wide breakout passes from one side of the ice to the other. You know, it's sort of like a quarterback throwing a 50-yard pass for a 2-yard gain, from one side into the other. So I think we need to attack the net more.
I see USC doing a little more skating. No doubt about that. It'll be a tripping call against Roger Zhang. Made that one easy on the referee. So now USC will get a power play with 9:26 to go.
Well, this is a great opportunity at SC to get back in this game.
Indeed, as they win the draw on the Bruins end. What are our stats on power play efficiency for the Trojans this year?
Trojans are converting at 6.8%, which is not good.
The shorthanded opportunity the other way. They score! Andrew Chang! Seemingly out of nowhere. Buries one. Intercepted a pass, takes it coast to coast, and puts the biscuit in the basket. 3-0 Bruins on the shorthanded goal.
Boy, nice jets there. He intercepted the pass inside the defensive zone, just outskated two Trojans, faked the goalie. 3-0. Trojans still have the power play, but you asked me about the start, Brian. I like it.
Can't disagree with you there, Mark. Bruins up by a trio. And still pressuring despite being down a man for another minute and a half.
I know it's early, Brian, but it's the Crosstown Cup in the building.
It is in the building. It's a best-of-5 series. I'll tell you that in a sec. Right back at him. There's a shot saved by Matthew Bowden off of the stick of, John Mandillo. Haven't seen much of him tonight. Other than, as far as threatening there, starting center, of course. The pass gets away from Phillips, and USC will have to clear out of the zone. Meanwhile, the Bruins take a line change for their penalty kill unit. Coming up is Phillips, going to his right side as he is wont to do. Justin Kaufman picks it off and flings it down the ice into the corner, giving chase. I don't know if Pod knew about it. Intercepted. The backhand. Oh, my goodness. Marshall maybe could have flung it toward the crease there, but it's not always easy to make a backhand. You certainly don't want to just give it away and result in a goal on the other side.
Beautiful hustle by Marshall on that play.
Absolutely. Just afterburners on. Now he's got it again. A shot saved off of the leg pads. Gets his own rebound, flings it towards the net again. Still no goal. 17 seconds on the USC power play. I think the Bruins getting more shots on goal during this sequence, however, as Bowden makes another save, this time on, I beg your pardon, I don't have number 19. It looks like Jonathan Kubiak wearing 19 tonight. There they come again. Rittenhouse.
And the Trojans really blew that change. They had 4 guys on the ice, which allowed the Bruin player to attack unmolested until finally the Trojans were able to get that 5th guy on.
I beg your deepest pardon, that previous goal scored by Rittenhouse, not Chang, as I have announced. I noticed there are 2 number 20s on my notes. I beg your deepest pardon. So the goal by Rittenhouse makes it 3-0 on the shorthanded streak from coast to coast. It's been a while. Can you tell? Phillips over to Tanfeld on the Trojans offense, unable to get it. McCarty at center ice gets tangled up with Brownell. Thrown ahead into the Trojans zone. They'll regroup and look for an outlet. There comes Rutzik around the corner. Corralled by Zhang. Sends it to Johnson. Back and forth they're going with it.
2-on-1 for the Bruins.
3-on-1 at this point. Yeah, definitely. Shot, stick, save, and out of play it goes.
While Zergus was going for the far corner there, you eyed it, and that was a nice save by Pod. I'm happy with that 3-on-1, even though it wasn't a score. I mean, the Bruins got a quality scoring chance on that, and had the puck not been deflected into the netting above the glass, we would have retrieved the puck and still have an odd man advantage in the offensive zone. So well played, it just didn't come through.
Face-off almost trickled its way into the crease. No save necessary by Pod. UCLA finally conceded to center ice. Shot and a save by Bowden. That was Jack Abramowicz looking to put it in. The blocker, a chest pad save, and just floated over the glass behind Matthew Bowden. Again, a graduating senior.
I know it's early, but Bowden looks like he's playing with a confidence out there. His last home game, and Crosstown Cup, he's come to play.
Bruins bring it up the left wing. Beecher and Lamb in the corner. Lamb with it. Drop pass toward Beecher. He hits the brakes and collects it behind the cage. Retreats a little to Smigliani. Smigliani through traffic. Wrist shot goes wide. Corralled by Tam. He sends it around to Lamb. Back to Beecher, tangling up with Abramowicz. Through the slot. Looked like Tam couldn't get his stick on it. Now he's got it in the corner. pressured by Busby. Thrown into the circle. Beecher fighting for it. Comes out into the middle, shot just high over the crossbar by Jonathan Lamb. UCLA continue the pressure. Now going for the body instead of the puck. USC looking to change the pace here as it's tangled up right in front of a bunch of fans. That's a great view there in the corner. USC, Tanfelt flings it up ahead. They desperately need a line change. Bruins will take one at the same time. Why not? Played up ahead. Smigliani ahead to Rittenhouse over in the corner where those fans were getting another taste of that action. Quickly back out by USC. 3:59 left in the first period. Still 3-0 Bruins. Shot behind the blue line. 2 quick saves made by Bowden. And they clear it out. Here's a 2-on-2 if the Bruins can hurry. Griffin McCarty on the right wing. Kwong to his left. The pass gets behind him. But trailing was Evan Rittenhouse, who keeps the play alive. Ben Baker shot off of the crossbar and out of play. Oh my. He had Pod beaten there. Unfortunately, just a little bit too much elevation.
Baker's saying, he's shaking his head going, oh, I wish I had that one a little back.
Oh, the goalie's best friend right there. About 3.5 to go. Bruins up by 3. Rittenhouse in the corner drops it back to Kwong behind the net. He gets tangled up by a pair of Trojan defenders. McCarty finds his way into the pile and forces the puck free. Flung in there by Sheppy. Comes around to Ben Baker. Drop back to Rittenhouse. In through traffic. Kwong might have gotten his stick on it, but it goes over the net, and the rebound is shot high over the glass.
Kwong, looking at the referee, wanted an elbow penalty on Augustus Busby, number 16 of the Trojans. Kwong playing low slot, looking for deflections, and I mean, it was an elbow. It's part of the game.
3:08 to play. Face off to the right of goalie Pod. Bruins win it. Ben Baker through traffic, missed the net to his right. Rebound collected by Nate Marshall.
Busby knocked down number 3, Will Laycock. I think we've seen that, Busby's a physical player.
Another shot into the chest protector of Cameron Pod. Save made.
Sometime during this game, Busby's going to hit the wrong guy after the whistle, and there could be some extracurricular activity at that point, especially if the game's out of hand.
Up the right wing, UCLA have it. Fed through traffic. Justin Kaufman couldn't get his stick down. Tyler Sheppy fed it ahead. Kaufman again off the post again. This time on the left side. Laycock in behind the Bruins net. Looked to feed Kaufman. Kaufman still has it. A pair of Bruins come off of the bench. Kaufman around the corner through the traffic. Rebound out in front. Loose puck. And now Laycock taking a late hit from, looks like Augustus Busby. Shoving him down when he was getting up just before the whistle, I suppose.
Get Busby's license plate, as they say, 16.
As they do say. 2:05 to go in the first. Bruins up by 3. Go ahead.
Yeah, nothing wrong with physical hockey. I'm a lover of the physical game, but it's 3 times you knocked Bruins down in the slot. So, and no penalties. So, congratulations to him. But I think they'll get a penalty sometime during the game.
Man, these shots just keep finding their way over to the Trojans net directly off of these face-offs. Cameron Pod making a lot more saves than the 3 on the scoreboard might indicate. Minute 43 to go. Roger Zhang centering, looking for Tam. Got ahead of him. Trojans will clear it down the length of the ice, but the race is won by UCLA for icing to be called. But they'll get a line change. USC not allowed to, with a minute and a half exactly to play. Mark Pauly says if he played in '85, he might have played with his younger brother, Neil Cadman.
Name definitely sounds familiar. I think he did. I think he's probably a senior.
There you go.
In '85 or '85, '86.
Yep. Oh, that's great. It's really cool to see this hockey family, the Bruin hockey family, still staying in touch and tuning in, of course. Thank you. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jack Abramovich flung it up over the net. USC still had it in the Bruin zone. Now UCLA control it.
Nice play by Zergis to go around the net, stop any SC momentum, have the Bruins regroup.
McCarty's slap shot kicked away by Pod. Under a minute to play, 47 seconds and change. McCarty wrist shot, blocker save, puck still alive. McCarty this time feeding Smigliani. Save made by Pod. Puck still in play. McCarty to the right side to Zoe. Zoe into the crease and saved by Pod. No shortage of offensive pressure here by the Bruins, forcing Pod to stand on his head.
Yeah, unfortunately, something's up with the scoreboard tonight that we're not getting shots on goal, in real time. But I'll be really interested in that stat.
Absolutely. We'll, of course, get that for you at the first intermission. A great start thus far for UCLA in this. I was starting to tell you about the structure of the Crosstown Cup tournament, or the series, I should say. We'll get you that at this first intermission break coming up in about 10 seconds. It's flung in behind the Bruins net. Pass into the middle and getting leveled. Big hit. That's going to be a charging penalty. Or no, it's the time expired. The whistle blown. No penalty there.
I think that was a good no call. Number 15 of the Trojans, Thomas Siggins, ran into, I want to say, Will Laycock. For a guy who hasn't played much this year, we have to his name. He's earning some minutes now. And, hey, good first period, Brian. 3-0 Bruins.
I'm with you on that one. So, yes, the excuse me, best of 5 series every year. UCLA versus USC in the Crosstown Cup rivalry. USC have had success in the most. They've won it the last 2 years. UCLA last had in their possession in 2017, the 2016-17 season, when they won the series 3-1, and then just icing on the cake, won the following game down at USC. So they were 4-1 in that season. That won the Triple Crown, as we were talking about.
All right, the Bruin fans, the SC team has to walk by the Bruin fans on the way to the locker room. So Bruin fans giving them some gruff. Like to see that.
Classic college hockey.
Yeah, speaking of hockey and non-traditional markets, the University of Georgia announced this week.
Georgia Bulldogs.
Absolutely. They are building a 5,800-seat hockey arena, essentially on campus, just across the street.
That's amazing.
If you've ever been to Athens.
I have not.
Fantastic. And $35 million cost. We got a long way to go to raise that kind of money, but that's great. Here's a Power 5 conference like the SEC, building an ice rink. ASU's building an on-campus rink that the Coyotes are going to use as a practice facility, sort of like Great Ice.
The Great Park Ice.
Great Park Ice, thank you.
Of course.
Down Irvine, where the Bruins and Trojans will play tomorrow, and hopefully a game that means nothing in terms of the Crosstown Cup.
As far as the actual decisiveness of that cup, hard to call any UCLA USC game completely meaningless, but I get what you're saying. And as again, UCLA lead the series 2-1 coming into tonight. We dropped the first game of the year at Staples Center against USC. Unfortunately, cut short due to a serious injury to a USC player. I believe that was, I'll get the name exactly, of course. Hope all the injuries, all those players get well soon and heal and all that. Anyway, they were the victors of that game, 5-0. Then UCLA won the next two at the home and home series at the end of 2019. So this is the first leg of a home and home to close out the season. I believe it's USC's senior night tomorrow as well. But certainly senior night for the Bruins. They have a chance to bring it home. And I got to say, the last time we did it, we did not have a broadcasting crew in place. I was just doing PA announcing. It was one of the most exciting games I've ever worked in all my years of hockey. I recall Bruins trailing by 2 goals early. They rallied to tie it up. Then they took a 3-2 lead, but before I could announce the goal scorer, USC put a puck in the net, just taking the energy out of the room. 3-3, we were tied. Late in the fourth period, the fourth goal came in the third period. I've been doing too many basketball games.
Right.
The Bruins, about 5 minutes in, took a 4-3 lead. It was looking like it was over. It was getting quite physical. The refs were hoping that it would be an easy end. USC pulled their goalie and score with just over a minute to play. Something like that. So the refs were just freaking out, thinking, oh, we're going to go to overtime with this. Go ahead.
Oh, just one of the many jobs, Brian. Nice save, by the way. With reference to the fourth period, which is sort of like the 19th hole is to golf. The fourth period would be to hockey. But of the many hats you wear, you also, if I call you Director of Game Operations for LA Valley College basketball.
Effectively, yeah, you could say that, at least with the fun stuff, the kind of
and I believe
grown into that role, like running the show as far as the PA and the music and now we're broadcasting the games there.
Yeah, the Monarchs take on, I know there's a women's game at 3, men's game at 5. Who are they taking on tomorrow?
Tomorrow they're playing the Citrus College Owls. We will have a broadcast, unfortunately no commentary. We'll tell you about that though. As for the rest of that Crosstown Cup game, it was 4-4 tied with just a minute to play. Face-off ended up to our right, just down to the right of the scoreboard on that end, the near corner. With about 9 seconds to go, USC were defending that goal. Bruins won the ensuing face-off. It came right out to Nick Katsarov, who took a slap shot and buried it with just under 5 seconds to play. This building was almost standing room only, and I have never heard it louder in there at that eruption as the goal scored. I could barely hear the goal horn playing over the speakers that I usually do. It just exploded. Bruins won 5-4, and the Crosstown Cup was back here for 2017. They then won the Pac-8 Conference Championship against Washington up in Lake Tahoe. Game went to overtime, and they won the championship there. And then after all that, the Triple Crown came as the Bruins defeated Cal State Northridge Matadors at Staples Center in the final of the 2017 LA Kings College Cup. Unfortunately, we haven't seen that happen again in recent years, but they do have the UCLA USC game at Staples each year. It's a fun tradition.
Yeah, my freshman year we played SC at the Forum, and unfortunately lost 4-3. We were a little undermanned. It was a Saturday night of Thanksgiving.
Oh, my.
So it was a little tough.
I never
I
knew
still
that.
think about that game as a game I should have played better.
Oh, man. Brutal. That's amazing, though. You got to play at the Forum.
Well, I'd actually flown in from Boston that day where
Oh,
it was
my.
my freshman year. I really wanted to go home, to see my friends, what people do, after their freshman year or after the first part of their freshman year. Got to the Forum.
That was after a Kings game like
That
we
was
do here?
after a Kings game. We lost 4-3. What I remember most about that game was just how perfect the facility was. I mean, you knew the net was 6x4, or should I say 4x6, is like what they like to say in hockey. You knew it was 200 by 85, that as a Boston boy, that was also during the most heated Celtic-Laker period. So it was kind of cool to have your name announced at the that was before it was the Great Western Forum. It was just the Forum at that point.
Just the Forum. Oh,
right.
How about that?
Great Western, of course, was a bank.
Yes.
That got absorbed into Chase.
I see. That much I knew. I didn't know it was just the Forum before that. That's incredible. Well, let's take a short break. We'll collect our stats here, getting our shots on goal count from the official scorekeeper. See what's going on, if they can get those shot displays working. But we'll be back shortly as the Zamboni finishes its ice cut. Period number 2 coming up. Bruins up 3-0. Don't go away. We thank you for sticking around with us as we're about ready to start this second period. UCLA leading 3-0 over the USC Trojans in the game. 2-1 in the series, the best of 5 Crosstown Cup series. Certainly look to continue this momentum from the first period. You know, all season long we've been seeing that annoying first goal of the, that quick goal conceded at the beginning of a period. They hope to not see that. Don't want to give them any extra chances to get back in this one. The shots on goal count 26-10 in favor of the Bruins in that first period. I didn't think it was quite that, but I mean, there's definitely a lot more offense going on the USC net instead of the Trojans. It's the Bruins. My goodness. Oh, sorry. Let me get your mic on there, Mark. Go for it.
Well, that's one way to shut me up, Brian. But anyhow, I turned off my microphone between periods. Hey, everybody. Great to be back. 26 shots, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that the amount of shots the Bruins had in the first period, the last home game against UC Irvine?
That was a flurry. What, 50 something?
Well, 50 for the game, but right. I was throwing you a softball. The answer is yes.
Yes.
The Bruins had 26 shots. Now 2 consecutive home games, and looking forward, the crowd. The Bros, the Bruin Hockey Bros, are standing directly behind the USC net, so hope they get involved this period.
This will be a noisy second period on that net, as you can see them all congregating behind the north goal. We thank you again for tuning in. Drop us a comment, tell us who you're watching for, where you're watching from. Love knowing all about our audience. As the Bruins controlling it early in the second period. Justin Kaufman, though, coughing it up, and now the breakaway for USC, but muscled away with it. Oh my goodness, tumbling into the boards behind there, but saving the play was Roger Zhang. He gets up on his own accord, he's okay, but my goodness, Aaron Brownell skating in almost alone. And we just were talking about that goal allowed. Well, certainly a scoring opportunity there.
Well, I think you had a new fresh sheet of ice. There's very little friction, and he just lost control. SC player just lost control of that puck.
Makes sense. Face off controlled by USC in the Bruins end, but now they break it up. Quick breakout play the other direction. Cameron Kwong with it on the left wing. Puts it on net. Save made by Pod. Rebound controlled by the Trojans, and they'll try to send it up ice. Ben Baker intercepts the pass just behind his own, or the USC blue line, and he'll fling it around the corner. Play continues on the Trojans end. McCarty, backhand pass. Couldn't find it. A Bruin to connect, but they control it. McCarty back to Rittenhouse. His shot goes high over the glass. Bruins still keeping it in the Trojan zone until they finally get it out. Now on the right wing, Phillips. Phillips with it. Shot and he scores. Just hesitated a little bit, pulled the trigger, and puts the Trojans on the board with 18:25 left in this second period.
Yeah, I think they hit Buden's pad, and obviously not sufficiently, and the puck just kept on going, deflected off his pad into the net. 3-1, we have ourselves a game again.
Looked like he beat him stick side there.
One comment, Brian. Number 20, Rittenhauser, who was wide open in the slot and missed a wrist shot over the net. That's about the 4th time the Bruins have gone over the net or hit the crossbar or post on uncontested shots.
Phillips getting the goal. Brownell the assist. 3-1. 2 minutes played in the second here. icing called against USC, so it'll be a big face-off on their end. They do control it. Alex Tam conceding the draw, but they'll keep it in. Bruins now with it again. McCarty flung it behind the net. Smigliani keeps it in the zone. Up ahead to Rishi Patel, I beg your pardon, wearing number 7 tonight instead of the normal number 2 listed on the roster. The puck trickles over toward the crease. Matthew Bowden drops down to cover it up. So Patel wearing number 7, Shin Beecher wearing number 18. We got that info. Should have had that, but thank you for filling us in. And Shailesh Patel, thank you for tuning in as well. Diana Tobin for USC. Oh, okay.
Right before that,
allow it.
Patel took a spill in the slot. Busby knocked him down. So, I applaud Busby for, policing the slot area. That's his job. I think the Bruins have to police back, if you will.
Face-off drawn back behind the USC players, but giving a sprint for it was Evan Rittenhouse. Just got a little bit ahead of everyone. Maybe that ice still a little more slick than it is toward the end of the periods when the snow is accumulated. Maybe especially after the first ice cut. When they take the ice, they're warming up, skating around for 10 minutes. Not the case in the second period, so extra slick as you hinted at. I just thought of that right now. Meanwhile, there's a hockey game going on. I'm thinking about ice physics and such. It looks like that'll be icing against USC. Indeed it is. 27-12 the shots count.
Well, that's what SC needed to get back in the game, a quick goal. And I will point out, though, that Patel, or it might have been, Rittenhouse, who missed that shot over the net. He missed it. SC came right back up the ice, scores a goal. It's little plays like that that over the course of a game add up. Could have been 4-0 Bruins. Next thing you know, it's 3-1.
Just chipping away at it. That was a
we have an injury.
USC player, Jonathan Chandler, shaken up on the play.
I did not see what happened.
Looks to be okay, but looks to be an arm or some type of upper body injury.
We appreciate your comments. I think some more have come in. And appreciate you telling us where you're watching from, as we're going to be trying to get more sponsors next year, maybe cover some road games.
Absolutely, that'd be great. Diana Tobin says, let's go refs. I think that's a first here. I don't know, we do get some attention from Chris Hahn. He's out on the ice tonight, though. And then Thomas Keys, hey, how you doing, man? 16:23 to go in the second period. 3-1 UCLA. As they bring it up over center ice. Shin Beecher.
Another post.
Ben Baker hit the left post. Is there a name for that game when instead of trying to shoot for the goal, you try to hit each post before your opponent does? I think one of those when you don't have people to play goalie, so you just try to hit left, right, and center.
Well, except, Brian, I was a goalie, so
right.
Whatever game that was, it wasn't played.
I'm asking the wrong player. No worries. I just remember it from the Mighty Ducks 2 or something.
Bruins have 6 players on the ice. They're being called for too many men.
Chris Hahn counting them out after blowing the whistle, and
can't hide that one.
No doubt about that. Miscommunication on the bench or with a line change or something. And
of course, the Bruins' third goal was a shorthanded goal, or perhaps it was the second. Excuse me, that was the second goal.
Indeed, second or third. In any case, Well, we'll see what happens here as a bench minor assessed to the Bruins, and it's going to be Shin Beecher serving it. Face off on the Bruins end. Like you could say won by the Bruins because it fell all the way into neutral zone and USC had to drop back. Trojans control it, bring it into the Bruins zone finally. Kwong tenaciously fighting, John Mandillo away from the puck. Now they'll set up the diamond. That one looked like it went off of the back heel of PJ Smigliani, or a blocker of Bowden. He kicked his foot up, but kept out of the net most importantly. That one flung in, and it looked like it went off the back of Busby for the Trojans. Bruins will finally clear and get a long line change. Of course, the second period, you got a little longer skate to the bench from the end you're defending.
Bruins not really forechecking on the, not even sending one man in. I think we have an offside.
Indeed we do, and that will slow things down. Exactly 1 minute ticked away on that penalty for too many men.
Even when you're a man down, I believe in, one forechecker, you don't want to make it so easy for the team to break out. On that play, the Bruins didn't pick up SC until the red line.
Indeed. Trojans with it, 47 seconds on their power play. Bring it up the right wing boards, led by Jack Abramowicz. Bruins come away with it and just slap it down the other side. Pod collects it. USC taking a line
now you see Justin Coffin's lined up in the slot, but he's not attacking the puck.
Just providing that presence, but not really the pressure, other than him simply being there. Around the corner, shot saved and then covered up by Bowden. Samuel Fraser looking to notch one for the Trojans. 11 seconds remain on their power play now.
Brian, you might say, well, how is that different from basketball, right? I mean, unless you're pressing, you're not really picking guys up to half court.
Yeah.
The difference is when that happens, the offense is slowly walking up the ball. Here, you have 100 feet of momentum.
Right.
By the time you get to the red line. Plus, you have an extra guy, so that's the difference there.
Certainly. Mandillo's shot was broken up in traffic, and now the Bruins back to even strength. Beecher out of the box onto the bench. As Griffin McCarty throws it ahead to Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse back to McCarty. Backhanded, deflected in toward the crease off of a USC player, but Pod able to cover up the slow-moving puck.
All right, penalty over. Bruins kill that off.
.22 to go in the second period. Bruins up by 2 goals.
SC's definitely going to have to work on that power play over the summer. I mean, they're ranked 344th in the country. Penalty
coming up. It looks to be, I can't see, cross-checking the infraction. Who's it going against, though? I couldn't tell who touched it last there, who touched the puck last.
I think Andrew Chang is coming off the ice. What was confusing about that is the whistle blew when SC had possession of the puck.
It looks like Kwong, I think, might have just barely touched it with his stick. But yeah, that's number 20, Evan Rittenhouse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who's gonna sit. I did the same thing earlier.
We have two 20s on our roster.
Chang was wearing that for a time. Rittenhouse will sit for a couple minutes for the cross check.
You'd think, Brian, we've seen enough hockey this season. We can tell the difference by sight.
Right. USC with another power play shortly after the previous one ran out and they came up empty. Kwong taking a hit. Brownell laying him into the glass as he tries to break up the play. Trojans still controlling, but now coming back the other way. McCarty with a shorthanded attempt, skating in alone. Deeks to the side, scores! Griffin McCarty with another short-handed goal. Puts the Bruins back up by 3. It's 4-1.
Second short-handed breakaway by the Bruins, and not like long breakout passes and a guy is cherry picking. We're talking about great skating by the Bruins and just out-fasting, if that's a word, the Trojan defense. I don't know if you saw the reaction of Cameron Pod, the Trojan goalie, very upset while taking the puck out of the net. And of course, Brian, if I could say this, one of the great hockey jokes of all time is, will SC should maybe think about declining the penalty next time one's called against the Bruins.
Indeed.
Waited all season for that.
Your moment has come. Do it again for sure. I love that one.
So do I.
Finally, the other side, a power play shot. This one went up over the net. Indeed, they're just aggressively fighting the puck away, not dumping it though. You know, they're just going for it, forcing the goalie to make those big saves, and as he mentioned twice, and come away with a goal shorthanded.
If you think about it, the Bruins have 2 shorthanded goals and a power play goal. So kudos to the special teams. Oh, nice save.
Right off of the draw, that was Samuel Fraser slapping it in. A kick save made by Bowden. Play continues. Phillips through traffic, deflected again. Another save by Bowden. Now right up in front, Fraser gets broken up. Zhang looking to get it out. Backhand pass by Zach Abramovich. Around the corner, splitting a defender, and now a 3-on-2 the other way. Still short-handed. Shot saved by Pod. Rebound. Pod has to get back up on his feet. That was Billy Zegers looking to collect the rebound, but he lost his edge. Maybe muscled away by a USC player. 12 seconds to go on their power play. Make that 5. UCLA will try to get it in the zone. Fraser lost his stick. And Kaufman put one on net. Save made by Pod. And we're back to even strength with 11:14 to go in the second period.
Bruins are leading the shot battle this period 6-5, despite being shorthanded 4 minutes of the 8.5 minutes we played.
2 goals by McCarty tonight. It'd be one thing to get the Crosstown Cup on senior night, but a hat trick. Keep an eye on number 25 in blue. Andrew Phillips dropped it back to John Mandillo. Mandillo still with it. Now he coughs it up to Rishi Patel. Now back to Phillips. Patel tangling up with him in the corner. Phillips to Mandillo. Back and forth it goes in that corner. Phillips, the captain, couldn't connect with his teammate Chandler. And now a breakaway the other direction. Shot! Saved by Pod. Patel controls it, but now USC bring it back out. That was John Lamb, by the way, with that shot. Now he gives chase. Ends up with it again. Lamb the shot. Saved again by Pod over the net. In behind is Tam, Lamb, and Patel. Laying it on thick against the Trojans. Sheppy. Shot goes up and out of play. How about that sequence?
Another Bruin shot over the net, from a great scoring opportunity. So I think they've noticed that Pod likes to play on his knees, and he's not big for a modern-day goalie, and so they've scouted him well and are trying to get upstairs.
For Tommy Keys asking how many on the season, that's the 16th and 17th goal that we have record of. There's a couple of missing games. Well, only one that matters, the game against Cal Lutheran, in which UCLA trounced them. We don't have, they never entered those goal scorers, so those stats unfortunately missing. So at least 16 or 17 for McCarty on the year. But 2 tonight, what a way to go out at home.
Brian, you mentioned the short bench for the Trojans tonight.
I'm counting 6 skaters.
6 plus the extra goalie. So as we enter the second half of the game, that could become an issue.
UCLA keep pouring it on as they are. Wow, right in front of that USC bench, Ted Johnson takes a knock. Offside call. Chris Hahn in to separate the players before things get a little too chippy as we're over halfway through regulation. 9:25 left in the second period. Bruins again up 4-1. Face off in the neutral zone. Cameron Kwong up against Jack Abramovich. Kwong plays it ahead of him, fights through the USC defense in front of him. UCLA end up with it. Roger Zhang on the right wing looking for a
Kwong was wide open there.
Rittenhouse ends up with it on the left wing. Kwong in the middle. Over to McCarty in the corner as the pass went ahead. He keeps it in the Bruins' control. Zhang in through traffic. Glove save. Was that McCarty again? Either way, stylish glove save by Pod there.
Sorry about that, Brian, but with the potential to win the Crosstown Cup today, also a shout out to Seton Hall University in Fairfield, Connecticut, who won the Connecticut State version of the Crosstown Cup, which is a 4-team tournament between the 4 hockey-playing schools in the Nutmeg State: UConn, Seton Hall, Quinnipiac, and Yale. Of course, the Beanpot, the greatest college hockey tournament, takes place the first round on Monday in Boston, when Northeastern will take on Harvard at 5 o'clock Eastern, and then the greatest rivalry in college hockey on the East Coast. Of course, this is the greatest rivalry on the West Coast.
No doubt about it. Save made by Bowden, and another one.
Boston College versus Boston University in the nightcap.
It's the Terriers, and remind me of the Boston College mascot?
The Eagles.
Eagles and Terriers. The Boston Terriers. I love that.
2 years ago, BU had, I think, 6.
McCarty to Kwong. Shot went high over the net, but it was dislodged anyway.
Let me just finish with that. BU had like 6 guys in the team who had either been first or second rounders. Another, Kwong going upstairs to the corner, just missed it.
We'll have a face-off. Is that going to be in the neutral zone?
Well, the net got dislodged. I think that's what the whistle was for. And no, it's going to go to the left of Pod, the USC goalie.
That makes sense. Confused there for a moment. Trojans eventually, really contested draw there. UCLA able to kind of put it on net though. Whoa, beautiful play out in front there. Nathan Marshall on a pass from Will Laycock. Missed the net, unfortunately. 30 saves tonight by Cameron Pod, 15 for Matthew Bowden. Make that 16 as he keeps it away. Samuel Fraser looking to put one in for USC. Down the other direction, and icing called this time against the Bruins.
That was sort of a late icing call. I saw the linesman, the referee looking at the linesman, and the whistle is on who gets to the dot first. But that icing wasn't called until it was actually touched behind the net.
7:26 to go, 4-1 Bruins. 7:26 in the second period, I should say. Bruins win the face-off after icing. There's a 2-on-2 quickly developing. Justin Kaufman around the corner, shoots and scores! Justin Kaufman.
Well, finally the Bruins hit one in the in the top corner. 5-1 Bruins. Justin Kaufman. Plus, I like the way he hits the glass after the goal with his back, as if he was doing a Lambeau leap. We're gonna have to come up with a name for that next year. Maybe get it sponsored. And 5-1 Bruins.
A Pickwick pounce. Burbank. Bound, I don't know. We'll think of something.
The summer, right?
Let's go to the chat for that. What's the UCLA Bruin bounce? Maybe I don't know. I don't know. They're gonna bounce off the glass.
You can use Westward. You can use Bruins.
Yeah, definitely. USC looking to answer quickly. Bowden keeps a couple of them out. The third one goes in though. Through traffic as Bowden was still on his backside. Jacob Rudsick finds a gap and keeps USC in this one. It's now 5-2. Quickly answering for the goal on the other end.
Well, if the Bruins thought the game was over, that was silly. 5-2, another goal. We got a game.
Still about 27 minutes of hockey to play in regulation. Face off at center ice, won by USC. But hey, hit us up in the chat. What's the UCLA hockey version of a Lambeau leap? What would we call it here at Pickwick Ice right next to beautiful downtown Burbank? Let us know. Penalty coming up.
SC.
Hooking the call. Who's gonna sit for it? 6:34 to go in the second. Bruins up 5-2, but they have a power play opportunity coming up as John Mandillo gets called for hooking.
Not a smart play by USC. They're closing the gap. The Bruins have scored 2 power play goals tonight. Just not a good play.
UCLA looking to make him pay for it. Shot right into the chest protector of Pod by McCarty. McCarty looking to score. Cameron Kwong right there to do something with the rebound, but it did not happen as Pod kept it in his grasp. Kwong for the face-off. Wins it, ends up with it again. Shot saved by Pod again and covered up. 37 shots to 17.
It was 25-10 at the end of the first period.
My
so the Bruins up 12-7 this period.
Kwong again, same spot, same result. He wins it. Score! Griffin McCarty with the hat trick. Power play goal makes it 6-2.
Well, that's just great. McCarty, hat trick versus USC on his senior night. A lot of fans behind the net there for the Bruins. And did I not just say, Brian, taking a penalty so soon after closing the gap could really come back and haunt. I didn't say could, I said bad, stupid play, and now it's 6-2.
You're down like that, you don't want to give any gifts to the other side. Undisciplined penalties. UCLA happy to take it and tickle the twine again. 6-2. 6:10 to go in the second period.
It's a quick whistle. I don't know if the referee lost sight of the puck or the net moved, but the puck was in play when the referee blew that whistle.
Billy Zegras having a lengthy talk. Looks like he's going to go sit for a penalty. That may explain the quick whistle.
Oh, okay.
Didn't see the infraction hand signal, but anyway, that is Billy Zegras.
Zegras upset. He slammed the box.
Face-off quickly won by USC. John Mandillo shot it toward the net, got deflected in traffic and up out of play. The Pickwick pylon, I like that. And Lencho Vasquez, roommate of Rishi Patel, chiming in. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. There's another shorthanded opportunity. Muscled away, Nate Marshall giving chase and still tangled up with it alongside Justin Kaufman. Bruins come away with it. Kaufman now in the middle. Coughs it up, and now there's a 3-on-2 the other direction for USC. Mandillo in through traffic. I don't know if that was a save man. It looks like it was a block out in front. Either way, Friedland will control it behind the Trojans' net after the clear. A minute 13 on the penalty. Left wing, Brownell with it. Shot through traffic, right in front, and another goal. Is that Philip Tanfeld, number 10, I believe?
You know, he tucks his shirt in, so we're having trouble seeing the second number 16.
There it is. Then that's Augustus Busby with the power play goal, making it 6-3.
I give Busby credit. I was just thinking, you know, he's playing a physical game. He scored a goal. Good player, good player.
It's a 3-goal game again. Already 9 goals scored between the two teams. 5:12 to go in the second period. UCLA send it down the ice behind the Trojans' goal.
Yeah, Busby not the most skilled player, but if you like a big defenseman who's going to hit some bodies and can crash the net if need be, he could play on my team.
Well, there you have it. The Mark DeVore goalie seal of approval. Up ahead, Cameron Kwong trying to swipe it out of midair. Forces it back to Ben Baker. Lines up right between the circles, fires it in. Does not get to the crease. USC will get the dump and change on the other side. Ben Baker corralling it behind his own net. Lays it off to Sheppy. Sheppy the other way against his opposing number 4. Flung up ahead, but gets a little bit away from Griffin McCarty, and that's icing.
You know, it's very important that the Bruins go into the locker room, you know, with at least a 3-goal advantage. They've been dominating the game. The shots on goal are 39-18. They've been up, I believe at one point they're up 5-1, right? So they had a 4-goal lead in the second period. And, you know, that's not even including how many shot posts. They've hit about 3 or 4 posts. And you really, especially in a rivalry game, don't want to let the team in back in at 6-4.
Bruins right back on him. Cameron Kwong with a shot, almost point blank range, saved by Pod. Another dump and change. This time Bruins taking advantage of the USC dump. There comes Baker on the right side, all the way behind the net. Centering pass, just barely kept into the zone as Billy Zegras kept it on the attacking side of the blue line. Takes a shot, point blank, stick save made by Pod. Play continues into the corner. Alex Tam tangling up with it. And Zegras now. Flung around the corner, got a little hovering action along the dasher boards, it seemed. Played up ahead. Giving chase for it was Philip Tanfeld of USC. But Zhang able to control it. Now he brings it up the left wing. Some pushing and shoving behind the play. Keep an eye on there. Alex Tam couldn't put it on net. Racing in Zach Abramovich. Drop pass. Nobody there on red to pick it up though. And the Bruins will control it. Smigliani behind his own net. Up the right side, ahead to Patel.
You got a slash.
Slashing called. Looks to be against USC based on who was touching the puck last.
I hope Griffin McCarty comes out for this power play.
Looks to be Busby sitting for the slash.
Well, he did say, Brian.
That's Kubiak, number 19.
Well, when you said it was Busby, I did say that man plays a physical game, and
so it's face off over on the left. It's Justin Kaufman taking the draw. Smigliani controls it. The Bruins now on the power play. Justin Kaufman lost it. USC dropped it back. Smigliani up ahead. Kaufman dropped it back, looking for Marshall. Smigliani looking for Marshall again. Broken up.
I think Kaufman was too unselfish on that last play. She shot the puck.
No call there as, Marshall lost his edge in front. Smigliani through a pile of bodies, ends up unsurprisingly outside of the cage. Kaufman couldn't keep it in the zone. It's cleared the other way. Richard Zoe in behind his own net. Just over a minute left in the period. 48 seconds on the Bruin power play. Kwong wasn't watching the puck, and that allowed Brownell to kick it into the Bruin zone. Brownell again with it. Drops it back to his zone this time. Friedland up ahead. Dumped in. Andrew Phillips giving chase. But Zoe gets it out. McCarty around the corner. Maybe didn't have enough mustard on it. Augustus Busby had it there. Backhand. McCarty again with it. Drops back to Zegras. Shot goes wide. Baker into Rittenhouse. Shot. Save made by Pod, and Rittenhouse took a knock by Busby right after the shot. 20.2 seconds remaining in this second period. UCLA up 6-3. We're back to even strength as the penalty to Kubiak expired. There's Cameron Kwong winning the draw for UCLA, and then a little backhander toward the net. Pod drops down to cover it up. We've got 42-18 the shots in favor of the Bruins. Mendillo winning the draw for USC, bringing it behind him. Zegras, shot missed to the left. Fed through traffic, 5 seconds to go. Kwong in through traffic, another save by Pod. That should do it for the second period, and it does. An explosion of scoring. The Bruins still have a 3-goal lead after 2 periods. We will.
Well, a good period of up and down hockey. Bruins up by 3, but they've really dominated the game. I mean, 26 shots the first period, 17 shots the second period. They've hit about 4 posts. They've just gone over the net a couple of times. Those aren't considered shots on goal. But 6-3, next goal is super important. Either puts SC away or creates a ball game. I would note, as Cindy said, it's 6 guys on the bench. Bruins don't have any extra room on the bench. There are people standing up. So hopefully, third period, it's getting late, and hopefully now's the time that the Bruins can put the Trojans away. 20 minutes away from the Crosstown Cup. Hey, what are we complaining about?
Yes, Tommy, the Cup is in the house. This would be an exciting one. We'll take a short break. We get caught up on our stats over here. Might grab a quick interview with the Bruins head coach, Greg Simmons, and plug that into our audio feed here in just a few minutes. So go grab yourself a tasty beverage or a little snack while we're at intermission. Don't go too far, though. We'll be back with the third period after these updates, and not much time at all. Don't go away. We are back. I was just able to grab a few words with Bruins head coach Greg Simmons. Here's what he had to say. Two periods, not a bad position to be in. What are your thoughts? Obviously, a lot more scoring in the second than the first. What changes did you make? What did you notice USC doing in the second compared to the first?
They opened up a bit of a stretch and beat us to the puck a few more times than expected, and we started getting a little sloppy, giving up some opportunities that we shouldn't give up, especially in our own end. But it's nothing that we're not used to, but it's just a matter of just hunkering down and doing what we need to do.
Two short-handed goals tonight. We go, games without seeing one of those. What's going on there? How are you making USC just pay for they're falling asleep on the back line or what there?
Well, that's exactly what you said there. They're falling asleep. We just took advantage of a loose puck race opportunity, and both times we just caught their defense not even paying attention.
20 minutes to go. You got a 3-goal lead. How are we going to finish this one out, seal the deal, and keep the cup in the house?
Well, we need to do what we do, and that means we got to control the puck a little bit more. We need a few more scoring opportunities, but more importantly, we got to keep USC out of our end. And if we can do that, we're going to walk with that cup tonight.
Thanks a lot, Coach.
You bet. Thanks.
Obviously, things looking pretty good thus far for UCLA. Being up by 3, the cup in the house. Looking to keep it here in our possession for one more year. Just a few more minutes left in this intermission. We'll be back with the third period. Just a little while. Don't go away. Well, we are back. The teams are back. The fans are back from wherever they were out warming up. We are back for 20 minutes of balls to the wall hockey.
I'm excited, Brian. How about you? 20 minutes away. Oh, there we go. I'm excited, Brian. How about you? 20 minutes away from the Crosstown Cup.
Absolutely. I can feel it. Bruins still have to keep the puck out of their own net, though. USC not looking to slow down one iota. We are now into Saturday, February 1st. A game has now spanned not only 2 days, but 2 months.
2-on-1.
Griffin McCarty on the right side. He already has 3 tonight. To Rittenhouse, and he scores! Evan Rittenhouse completes the hat trick.
That's great, and a great pass by McCarty. Just a perfect 2-on-1. And we see the Rittenhauser parents who've come for senior night, and their son puts up a hat trick, 7-3, and the period couldn't start better for the Bruins.
30 seconds, and they bury one already. Rittenhouse with a hat trick, and yes, like you said, I had the pleasure of meeting in person the Rittenhouse family. He intercepted me in the hallway after my interview with the coach. You might hear me behind him as I say this right now, but it's great to hear the feedback from all of you, especially in person. Get yourself out to a game next season. 7-3 UCLA. Right back on the other side. Somehow that one stayed out of the Bruins net.
2-on-1 again.
Kwong shoots. Save made by Pod.
Boy, that was a juicy rebound that Rittenhouse just couldn't put it back in.
So a hat trick for both Rittenhouse and McCarty. Ben Baker also on the score sheet for UCLA tonight. All seniors.
Sorry about that, Brian.
No worries.
Do want to point out that after letting in the 7th goal, SC came right back and almost made it 7-4. I mean, they don't quit. And
no doubt about that.
18 and a half minutes left.
We saw it go 3-3 last period.
Ooh. And Ben Baker, lucky, saw that coming and sidestepped.
No doubt about that. Kaufman put one on net.
21 for the Trojans. Andrew
Phillips, there you go. Tyler Sheppy will start the Bruins' next attack. Ahead to Laycock. On the right wing, coughs it up, and Frazier will bring it in for USC. Frazier on his backhand side. Almost got it around to his forehand. Was stick checked away by Bowden and company. Still in there. Shot saved. Abramovich. I am struggling with your name. I'm so sorry. Save made by Bowden. Philip Tanfelt spinning around. Gets away from him, and now Justin Kaufman up the other way. Kaufman spinning around, eventually carrying it out of the zone. And he'll skate off. Maybe a couple other Bruins changing out as well.
I will say the Bruins have to work on their changes. I mean, the guy coming off the ice is just lollygagging, and he's not helping anybody. He's hurting the team by doing that. Several players have done that.
A split second can make all the difference. Zegras setting up, skates ahead to his left. Shot, glove save, rebound almost scooped in there by Alex Tam. The Pod letting one go past him behind the net. Now it gets knocked loose. Refs will try to reset it and keep play moving. And they do. Bodies flying, people tumbling each over. USC bring it back in. Phillips.
Again, you can really tell the difference here at Pickwick Gardens.
Goal scored by USC as the puck just rolled in the crease, got a little bit behind Bowden, And amid a flurry of sticks, someone from USC tapped it in at the front of the handshake line is Aaron Brownell. We'll see if he gets credit for the goal after that.
Yeah,
as you said, right back at it they go.
And I was pointing out it's for the fresh sheet of ice. It's a very slick surface here at Pickwick Gardens. But hey, 7-4.
Yeah, still got
a game again.
As we've seen all night, 3 goals isn't as much of margin as it may seem. By hockey standards anyway. As USC come away with the draw, but gets ahead of everyone. A little tangle up. There's going to be a penalty for interference. Not surprised there. Behind the play. 2 getting tangled up. Now who's going to actually sit for it though? It appears to be Richard Zoe for UCLA. So right after UFC answer for the quick goal right out of the gates for UCLA, they earn a power play.
I'd be very upset, Brian. Come on, you're winning 7-3, let's on a goal, and then a penalty on an insignificant part of the play.
An interference call, indeed.
Right. But hey, the Bruins have 2 shorthanded goals, so I'm reserving judgment.
It's a bold strategy. Let's see if it pays off for them. Been wanting to use that one for a while. Cameron Kwong behind his own net.
Where's that from?
Get it out of the
we'll talk about that later.
That was dodgeball.
Oh,
that's, the greatest broadcasting crew in a movie.
If I may say, I'm a fan of Christine Johnson, who is the female lead in that. I've been watching Arrested Development.
Oh,
on,
yeah.
Netflix, and she there's a story arc on her.
Oh, sure.
Divorced now from Ben Stiller.
Shot saved off of the stick of Busby.
She also played Marsha Brady in the Brady Bunch movies.
Another kick save. USC still applying the pressure. They still have 50 seconds on their power play. Their 20th shot of the game. That one, not the 21st. It was off of the shin of Busby. He was jumping to try to get out of its way. Shot, and there's a sticker and a blocker save. One or the other, either way, up over the glass. John Mandillo trying to light the lamp and make it a 2-goal game. 14:44 left in the third period. 33 seconds on the penalty against Richard Zoe. Still 7-4 Bruins. UCLA win the draw, and it's slapped out of the zone all the way down behind the USC end. Busby, 20 seconds on the penalty. Backhand pass, ineffective. Billy Zegras able to control it behind the Trojans' net. Tangling up for it. Zegras, shot! Saved off the stick side of Todd. Kwong will collect the rebound eventually. Back to even strength. Over in the corner. Kwong with it. Slap shot wide. Zhang just unable to keep it in the zone. That's offside called against UCLA.
Well, the Bruins successfully kill off that penalty. One thing I noticed, though, is that Matthew Bonon, the goalie, when it becomes all even, the goalie should be slapping his stick on the ice to alert his players that we're now all even. And as a senior, as an alternate captain, I think he should know that.
We didn't hear that tonight, at least not on that one. Coming up the other way, Evan Rittenhouse ahead to Kwong. Rittenhouse again, slaps, wrist shot there, save made, no goal.
Quick whistle again.
The referee lost sight of it. Yes, after the whistle, they thought it was in.
That was the 50th shot on goal by the Bruins. So 2 straight games with 50 or more shots. We're going to have to check the record book to see if they've ever done it twice in a row.
Puck in behind the Trojans net. Now out to the right side. McCarty fed through traffic to Kwong. His shot goes to the right side of the net. Still controlled by the Bruins. McCarty again.
Offside.
The play was offside, and looks like we have a penalty. Referee had his. That's interesting. Well, both the linesman and the referee had their hands up in the air.
I hope it was a penalty because Bowden was all the way out to the blue line like he was coming on for a delay call. And we do.
We do indeed. Jonathan Chandler's going to sit for cross-checking, as I was confused as he brought his hand down at center ice. But indeed, cross-checking the call against Jonathan Chandler of USC. So now the Bruins with a power play opportunity in the third period. 13:06 to go. They're up by 3, 7-4. Face off to the left of Cameron Pod. No, to the right, they say.
Right, that's what was confusing to us because the Bruins were offside, and the whistle came right after the puck was put into the zone, but at the same time the penalty was called against the Trojans. So
interesting. Most of the time when a penalty called, the offending team has to take a draw on their own end. As Nate Marshall got a pass right in front of the Trojans' crease. Put it on net. Save again by Pod. He's got 44 saves tonight. Around the left side. Zegras in through traffic. Justin Kaufman behind the net. Kaufman looking for Ben Baker. Finds him in the corner. Back to Zegras. Fed through traffic. Play broken up. And now USC on a little 2-on-2 shorthanded opportunity.
Offside.
The play was offside. A little shove after the play. No call. Certainly don't want to be on the receiving end of a shorthanded goal. Making it a 2-goal game. Bruins still have 1:07 on their power play. But importantly, the 3-goal advantage as time ticks away. Face off right in front of the Bruins zone. Own bench, I should say. It's after midnight. Kwong winning the draw for UCLA. Sends it over to the left side. Rittenhouse. Flanked by Kwong. Instead goes to McCarty across the ice. Broken up. And here come the Trojans. Phillips with it. Dropping it back to Mendillo. Mendillo's backhanded pass. Gloved by Smigliani. And he controls it by his own net. 41 seconds on the Bruins power play. Rittenhouse along the left wing. Skates in with it. Rittenhouse looked like he got tripped on his way to the cage, and everybody crashes into it. Busby applying the defensive pressure.
doesn't look like the refs are going to call anything on that other than the dislodged net.
Just a stoppage of play. No extra pushing and shoving afterward. They feel it was a hockey play and nothing excessive. Everyone's okay, skating off on their own accord. A line change for UCLA. They've got 32 seconds left in the power play. Alex Tam in to take the draw, winning it for his team. Smigliani on the left point, shot through traffic, might have been redirected, but covered up by Pod. Might reset the clock there. It looked like a few extra seconds ticked off. It's showing 11:26 with 20 left on the power play. They might just hold it for a couple seconds rather than having to reset two clocks on there. That's what they do. Now we're back to running. I've been in the booth. I know how it is. Games like this. Tam back to Smigliani. Just keeps it inside the attack zone. Now over to Patel. As you mentioned, that time Bowden definitely slapping his stick on the ice. As we're back to even strength, 11:01 to go in regulation. Icing called against USC. It's been a 3-goal game for a while. USC just staying in this one as much as they can. Tam winning the draw. Plays it back. Sheppy's shot gets covered up.
Fans wondering what the NHL record for shots is. The Boston Bruins putting 83 or peppered Sam Lopresti with the Blackhawks with 83 shots during the 1940-41 season. Ended up winning the game only 3-2. 80 saves by Lopresti.
83 shots, 80 saves, and that was just that didn't go to overtime or anything. You're saying?
I don't believe it went into overtime.
That was a regular season game?
Yes.
My goodness.
Sam Lopresti was pretty good because his son, Pete Lopresti, played in the NHL, was a goaltender.
Ashwindina's shot wide.
Bruins again trying to hit those corners upstairs.
Back the other way, Brownell. Ahead to Phillips. Phillips throws it back behind him, goes all the way out to the red line. There's another Boston hockey rivalry. I'd be surprised, but also maybe not surprised if you know about the Boylston Cup. Not exactly NCAA hockey, I believe, but the Berkeley College of Music Ice Cats have a rivalry trophy. I forget who that's against. I don't know if Boston Conservatory has a hockey team as well.
Oh, that's great.
A couple of music schools suiting up and playing ice hockey there. But yeah, the Berkeley Ice Cats, they're called. Both on Boylston Street over there in around Fenway, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we also have the Commonwealth Avenue rivalry, which is not really an original name, between Boston College and Boston University.
There you go.
Where both campuses are on Commonwealth Avenue, about 3 miles apart.
That's really something. Just the sheer number of colleges and universities. What is 50 of them within 50 square miles, if I'm not mistaken?
I believe that. And a great thing also is BC and BU are two, hockey powers, sort of like Michigan and Ohio State.
Backhand shot by Billy Zegras makes its way to the crease, and now bodies piling up in the blue paint.
Right, the way Michigan and Ohio State are two big-time football powers. I would have liked to have said UCLA and USC, but alas, the Bruins football program has fallen on tough times the last, I hate to say it, 20 years.
It's been a while.
I will say I was a freshman the last time the Bruins won the Rose Bowl. That was January 1st, 1986, and the Bruins beat Iowa.
Maybe half of a Boston or a rivalry involving the Boston area, but the backhand shot saved. That was Justin Kaufman trying to put it in. But the Caltech MIT, I was going to say, Caltech known for their pranks around here, actually hacked into the scoreboard at the Rose Bowl at one point in the UCLA-USC game and changed it to say Caltech versus MIT. As there's a breakaway opportunity, Aaron Brownell drawing Bowden out of his crease, and he makes a clutch save.
Bowden just waited, maintained his position, and then poke-checked the puck away from number 20, Aaron Brunelli.
Didn't come that far out of his crease, but what are your thoughts on that? I know Jonathan Quick, maybe not the norm as far as how aggressive he is to come out of his crease to break up a play, but it definitely composed, as you said. What are your thoughts on that?
The game's changed. You're right. Let's just see this flow out the back.
Indeed, Zegras looking to redirect one in.
Boy, that was a big save if it was 7-5 with 8 minutes to go.
Absolutely.
It would be a different game.
Right in front, Will Laycock looking for a pass.
Bruins changing, Smigliani on the ice.
Jonathan Lamb tangling up in the corner. Kaufman turns the corner. Referee in the area. Everyone's okay. USC fling it out of the zone. 7:31 left in the third period. Bruins up 7-4. The Crosstown Cup is in the building. Bruins looking to keep it there. You can start to feel it, but there's been no shortage of offense, and the 3-goal margin not as comfortable as it might seem. Richard Zoe controlling it. PJ Smigliani, the captain, flings it up ahead, and here's Alex Tam, but the play's offside. Looks like.
I thought that could have been a high stick on 16 Busby, but I gotta tell you,
Patel, the victim of that one.
Yeah, Busby. I like him. Like I said earlier, I mean, he's the most physical player in the ice. He scored a goal tonight, and not a superstar by any means, but
it couldn't hurt to have a grinder out on the ice when
right.
you got such a short bench as well. Like wear down the other side. McCarty over on the Bruins end. Phillips now for USC. Shepherding it back into his own zone. Phillips loses it. McCarty to Kwong. Now Rittenhouse. Rittenhouse to Kwong. Scores! Cameron Kwong lights the lamp on the pass from Evan Rittenhouse. And the Bruins lead by 4 goals. It's 8-4. 6.5 minutes to play in the third period.
Well, another nice 2-on-1 by the Bruins. Puck came across, and I wouldn't call it a tip-in, but put home.
You're starting to feel it now. Kwong taking the face-off. Brownell winning it. Now looking for a pass right in front of the crease.
SC's been good at matching the Bruins with quick goals.
Right back the other way. Kicked away by Tyler Sheppy in front of the crease. Kwong giving chase again on a long pass up ahead. No icing called. Maybe that's what the race was all about. Ben Baker now pressuring. Flung out of there by Tyler Sheppy, and it was tipped in the neutral zone, so no icing will be called. Under 6 minutes in regulation. Puck out of play. Looks like it may have deflected into the USC bench. As it was shot by a defenseman. Is that going to be a delay of game penalty? Referee's got his arm up still, or is he saying no substitutions? I guess it's just icing, and Bruins allowed to sub, USC not. No one going to the penalty box. You do see that, so sometimes the puck flung out of the field of play.
Well, if it goes over the glass, that would be a delay of game, but if it goes into the bench, it's not
allowable. It's not
right, because
clearly intentional.
Exactly.
Offside there is Ted Johnson. Was a little bit behind Shin Beecher in the area. The Johnson, Beecher, and Dina line out. Dina taking the draw. USC win it. Jonathan Chandler up ahead to Fraser. Fraser shoots. Missed the net. Comes all the way back out to the red line. And USC will dump it in. Up along the left side, Billy Zegras. Behind the net, Dina in the area, but Jack Abramovich will bring it up for the Trojans. Quickly muscled into the glass, and now the other way, here comes Jin Beecher. Chasing Jacob Rudzik, starting defenseman tonight. Rudzik, Beecher with it. No, beg McCarran. Justin Kaufman scores!
And that should do it.
I think so. 9-4 UCLA. Justin Kaufman on the backhand. Jonathan Chandler frustratingly slams his stick into the bench area on his way back.
Now SC is changing goalies with 4.5 minutes to go.
9 goals allowed by Cameron Pod. Goalie switch coming at 4:29 left in regulation. So we'll see a little goaltending by Charlie Rothschild, wearing number 33.
I'd like to see the Bruins get to 60 shots.
That'd be amazing. John Mandillo shot up over the glass. It was a rough 2017-18 season. After winning the Crosstown Cup, USC swept us to win it back, and it's stayed in their possession the last couple of years. Looks to be coming back to its home in Burbank and Westwood, respectively, barring any epic collapse. USC need 5 goals in under 4 minutes. Bruins with it. Smigliani behind his net to Marshall. Marshall lets it float ahead to Justin Kaufman, who just scored. Kaufman tangles up and goes into the glass with Busby. Losing his edge for the puck over by the blue line, Richard Zoe.
He slipped on the ice, as they say.
A little snowy out there as we get toward the waning minutes of this period. Smigliani trying to force it into a swarm of Trojans. There it comes the other direction. Jack Abramovich, flanked by Phillips. Jack brings it around himself. Back into the corner, broken up by Ashwin Dina. The pass ahead to Ted Johnson, a little bit too hard. And Augustus Busby will control it. Under 3 minutes to go. Beecher had it. Bruins up again. Sheppy dumping it in. Will that be icing? No. Play continues. Rudzik tangles up with Johnson behind his net. Tyler Sheppy shot, gloved and saved by Rothschild.
This Rothschild was looking behind him. I don't think he knew he had it.
That stayed out, right? Saved by Rothschild. 2:21 to go. Bruins leading 9-4.
Bruins now have 59 shots. He's coming after
Coming
a
up
50
on your
shot.
60. Rishi Patel in the corner, tangling up, taking the body while Griffin McCarty gets the puck, and it takes a big hit. That was
an injury.
Jonathan Kubiak took the hit, and we have a USC
penalty.
player down on the ice. There'll be a penalty against USC, or
No.
wasn't sure who was going to be on. Both goalies actually left the ice for a minute. Nicholas Friedland appears to be Trojan players shaken up.
He's holding his wrist,
Looks
but
to be
now he's going to be okay.
a little shaken up. Certainly don't want to see anybody get hurt. Looks like Jonathan Kubiak's going to sit for the last couple minutes of this one.
Well,
while they're sorting that out, what were you going to say, Mark?
Salute the chick her, and this one's in the refrigerator.
The
butter's getting hard. You know the full.
I hear that. I feel like every game's in the refrigerator, the full 60 minutes at this place, though. It's cold here at good old Pickwick Ice. That's, the nature of the beast, of course. But I've got to say, a few years ago, that explosive sound of this arena erupting as Nick Katsaroff buried the game-winning goal to clinch the Crosstown Cup. It just felt a shame to me that entire moment was just lost to word of mouth and me describing it. It'll be a double minor penalty, by the way, to Kubiak. But the lack of a broadcasting crew leaving such a story just to word of mouth and any, newspaper, Daily Bruin clippings of all of that. I just really wanted to make something happen. The opportunity presented itself. I was able to put together, pass the torch to a worthy candidate there. As Smigliani tries to shoot it, it was saved.
That
minute
should be
and a half
the
to go.
60th shot.
There it is. There, another Busby, the grinder, as you say, tangling up and going at it. A little pushing and shoving afterward with Justin Kaufman. But it's been a great pleasure to get these broadcasts going. I try to do my best impression of a play-by-play announcer. Save made by Bowden on the backhanded shot on the other side. That was Philip Tanfeld fighting his way in. 1 minute to go. And we thank you all for your support all season long. Ever since we started doing these broadcasts, originally on Facebook, and seem to be having a better, more access and better streaming reliability here on YouTube. We do, of course, welcome your feedback on that. In any case, looks to be all but a formality at this point. All the seniors back out on the ice for UCLA. There's a shot by Kwong, saved. Ben Baker will corral it, giving chase, though, never giving up Andrew Phillips. And that's going to be a penalty against the Bruins with 15.1 seconds left on the clock. It'll make it an even 4-on-4.
I think that was interference. Well, I'm glad the SC didn't score a goal there. It's just not a good way to end your career, Matthew Bowden, right? I mean,
Ben Baker's going to sit. He'll spend the last 15.1 seconds of this one in the penalty box.
As a former goalie, he only is in your mind. Only as good as the last shot.
Indeed, those one-goal games, especially, that could hold true. Shot right off of the draw, saved by Bowden off of the stick of Mendillo. Under 10 seconds to go. And for the first time in a few years, the UCLA Bruins have won the Crosstown Cup. The pile up in front of the Bruins net around Matthew Bowden. Some fan made his way out onto the ice, not on skates, and get him out of there safely. My goodness. The celebration on. 9-4, the final score. And UCLA take the Crosstown Cup Series 3-1.
Well, Brian, it's been a tough season for the Bruins, but definitely winning the Crosstown Cup will make it a good spring and summer and something to build on.
Indeed, a rough year for both sides of this one. UCLA, though, with the win, improved to 5-13. That makes it a 2-19 year thus far, according to our records, for USC. One more game between the two. I was going to say tomorrow, but as it's after midnight, technically, later today, this Saturday. Check out the USC YouTube channel for that one. Catch the senior night down there in Irvine. Great Park Ice. I believe it's a 7 o'clock start, but get the full information over there, of course.
Tomorrow's actually a hockey day in Southern California. You get the Kings Ducks, the Rain Gulls, UCLA, USC.
All of it. It's the regional rivalry day. Players tossing their helmets and sticks and gloves to the ice in celebration.
And a shout out to the fans. A number of them came down from Westwood, and the best crowd of the year. The Bruins did not disappoint.
Best crowd of the season, no doubt about it. A momentous occasion. Piling in the party bus up from Westwood. Many of them staying almost to 1 a.m. at this point.
Oh, can we get a video? We got the Crosstown Cup.
There it is. Smigliani hoisting the cup as the players all take a victory lap.
One of the great traditions in hockey on a trophy game is the captain skating around the ice, and then I'm sure he's going to hand it to all the other seniors.
Evan Rittenhouse, the next one to raise the cup. And off to Griffin McCarty, the two guys with the hat tricks tonight. Round they go. What a season. What a cap to it anyhow. Still a young roster, you know, only 5 graduating seniors. We'll see who moves up in the goaltending department. We've got Max Muller and Alan McIver. Both will be getting some more ice time coming up. Coach Greg Simmons directing the players to center ice or to get a team photograph in front of the scoreboard, likely. The penalty time's still up on the board, so a little extra footnote for Ben Baker. If you can see up close, well, when they spread out, much like the Stanley Cup having the names etched on the cup each time, they actually have a little red or a blue placard that's bolted onto the base of the cup. There's a lot of red on there. Right, you can see a couple spots of blue, and we'll work on that in the years to come, of course. Team photos with the scoreboard behind.
I think that can best be explained. I mean, USC private school draws a more national student body, lesser admission standards. Hockey players are going to find their way from back east. The Bruins, state school, very tough to get into. It's just going to be harder to get hockey players into school. But the future looks bright, and hopefully this is just the beginning of a great run for Coach Simmons in the blue and gold.
Absolutely. My goodness. That was a team photo on the other end in front of the fans that are remaining. Pounding on the glass in celebration of a victorious end to the Crosstown Cup this year.
Brian, I just want to say it's been a really enjoyable year working with you. We started out in July and covered some exhibition games, adult league games to get our rapport going.
Indeed, that's been a blast.
I've had a lot of fun, and we've seen some good wins.
Indeed, as we were finding our rhythm, we practiced here for some Burbank Senior Hockey League matchups. That was a lot of fun just to get the wheels turning. And wow, what a great season it's been. I do thank you for reaching out. Initially, you just contacted me from the Facebook streams we used to do, and you know, anything to save me from talking or thinking too much about this is much welcome. So thank you again for all your efforts this past season. Let's see what more we can do with it. And to all you viewers out there, wherever you might be, thank you for tuning in and chatting with us here. We're not just talking to ourselves. Cool what we can do these days. For our PA crew, Scott and Ben Corburn, Kyle Grotfin doing the scorekeeping and scoreboard operation, George Flores assisting him, team photographer Joseph Martinez. George and Joseph, both from LA Valley College's broadcasting department. Happy to have them on hand to help us out with some new production elements. Susie Losey, our camera operator all season long. And of course, Mark DeVore. This is Brian Melblom. Thank you all for tuning in all season long. Hope to see you next year. This concludes our coverage of UCLA hockey for the 2019-2020 season. Thanks again. Stay tuned. And as always, go Bruins.